What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the J&J Talk Show. Good morning. Happy Tuesday, December 21st, 2021. I got a big show for you guys today. We're back at it again. It's the holiday season. And boy, I tell you, we have ourselves the process of the J&J Talk Show studio. It has finally begun. Like the mess I could see out here among trying to set everything up, it's crazy. And it just began last night. And hopefully we will have it ready by December 26th. But gosh, I don't know exactly. It looks horrifying right now, just with everything everywhere, tools and whatnot, trying to get this studio set up for you guys. But you know what? We got 2 hours here. Let's do what we normally do on a regular program basis. Happy holidays, wherever you guys are listening from. Let's get right down to it. We want to thank some very, very nice people when it comes down to allowing our application to or our podcast or talk show to be able to operate. Let's first off and thank StreamYard. StreamYard is the studio home of the J&J Talk Show. If you're looking to create your own podcast, YouTube videos, or even looking for your virtual business meetings, StreamYard is the place to go. Head on over to StreamYard.com and start making your dreams a reality. Also, let's give a quick shout out and thanks to Placeit. Placeit creates the logos for the J&J Talk Show. Okay, you could create your mock-ups, logos, and videos through Placeit. And if you're looking for a free trial, head on over to placeit.net. Placeit is by Envato. Also, while we're at it, let's give thanks to Canva. All right. You see the commercial breaks that we have. Listen, I apologize. It's not this normal podcast. It's more like maybe a radio show or a TV show. I understand and I apologize, but the 3-minute breaks in between the action is what we need. All right. With that being said, Canva, okay, gives us the platform to create many little videos. So you see the little 3-minute dots counting down. You see the little promotional ads that we have, the little festive in the background, kind of keep you guys entertained. Well, that is through Canva. So if you guys are looking for yourself to make a little quick video, stuff like that, Canva is the place to go. They have the templates for you to use. Also, let's give thanks to Epidemic Sound, all right? Epidemic Sound discovers world-class artists, composers, and bands. Find your perfect soundtrack and give your social media accounts the music they deserve. Epidemic Sound's license, music, and noise effect link. Check out Epidemic Sound for more information. Last but not least, Stream Elements. And listen, it's crazy to think about how easy it is to start a merchandise page. Back in the day, you used to always have to create your logos, plaster it on a t-shirt and then buy a whole bunch of them, put a lot of money into it, buy a whole bunch of them in order to sell them. Well, Stream Elements makes it simple. All you got to do is upload your logo to whatever shirt, hoodie, coffee mug, whatnot, that you want. And Stream Elements does the rest. They create, your domain. They mark everything. Okay, they price everything for you. They will, your customers who buy your merchandise through them go straight to you. They'll go straight to them. They'll make they'll make it to order. They'll send it out directly to them, and then they'll cut you the profit at the end. So Stream Elements is made simple. So head on over to streamelements.com for more information. Well, listen. All right, it's kind of a bummer here. I got Jake out. He's kind of under the weather. We got to get him going. It's holiday season. Trace is nice and cozy in his little bed right now. So it's really just me riding solo, and I get terrified. But we got a show for you ahead. 2 hours coming your way right here on the J&J Talk Show. Good morning, everybody. It's Justin here on the J and J Talk Show. I'm riding solo this morning, yes, because from my under, because Jake is out in sickness, and I hope he feels well. I talked to him yesterday. He looks like he's doing good on recovery, but I guess he's been kind of under the weather. These bugs that go around. I know a couple other people that have gotten are starting to get sick around these holidays. So, as the weather changes, as COVID-19 cases spike, please, each and every one of you guys take care of yourself out there, washing hands, doing whatever you guys need to do to take care of yourself. Stay warm, stay safe out there. Everyone wants to have a great holiday this weekend and to kick off the new year strong. Well, everyone has to do their part in taking care of themselves. A longer intro that I have. That's because no Jake. Trey is, like I said, nice, cozy, tucked in his bed, and probably sang a lullaby song to him earlier. So I'm writing, solo, and it's been a while since I've done this show solo. And I got 2 hours for you guys today. So sit tight, grab your popcorn. Hey, listen, wherever you guys are listening to us from, whether this is on Facebook, all right. Okay, when we post up videos on Facebook, YouTube, whether you're watching us live on YouTube, or you're going to be streaming us later on Spotify. Let's say you're at work. Let's say you're sitting maybe at the gym, maybe you're driving in the car and you need something to listen to. Check us out on Spotify at the J&J Talk Show. Also, hey, feel free to reach out to us on social media accounts. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. We are very active on these social media accounts. If you guys want to talk with us, chat us up, we will do so. Um, I already know, I've been following some stories on Facebook, and Trey has really been getting at it with NWF. We'll cover that here a little later on in our program. Um, but yeah, there's no reason why you can't miss an episode. We got 2 hours. I sure hope it's not dead and not boring for you guys. Please let me know down in the comments. Also, please like, share, and subscribe. We have a crazy. We're starting to look to ending off the season. All right. If you would have told me that back on January 1st, that as of today, that when it came down to the end of the year, we will be having a talk show, a radio, whatnot, I would have believed you. If you told me that I would be making new friends and I would be going out to venues to have appearances on from the show, I wouldn't believe you. I would say you're full of it. But this year, there's a lot of reflection back, and I know the last show I said, I played a little bite clip. Oh well, hey, remember when is the lowest form of conversation? Well, because this is me, myself, and I, and my phase. Listen, I could really see here. Remember when this year, what happened this year. And I can honestly tell you that this talk show that I have created, the friends and the support, the love, even if people didn't like it or doesn't have the same idea, they're on the same page. They support the idea of this show. Um, they are all in. And I never believe I would be here today. Okay. Definitely much better than what I was at the beginning of the year. Kind of going through changing jobs throughout the year, having a couple surgeries throughout the year, trying to find my place around, and really probably one of the scariest things is getting the show up and running. It's easier said than done. Hey, let's just click on that live on that webcam and say, hey, let's go live. It's another thing to sit here and actually do weekly episodes. And I tell you, one of the hardest things to do as a talk show is to do a episode completely by yourself, because you got to create that nonstop content for you, right? I remember, back in September and October and part of November where I was doing the weekly shows by myself. Got Jake on board. Trey's joined us on a few. And now it's more of a consistent. And now I'm back at it again, you know. But this is, the reason why we have this show. You could say or listen or digress and argue, debate, whatever you want to do about, hey, why don't you just take the holidays off and come back at the new year? Well, you know what? Yeah, I've been thinking about this, and there's a lot of people, a lot of radio shows, a lot of talk shows, a lot of podcasts that probably take these next 2 weeks off. Holiday season, spend time with family, and don't get me wrong, I will spend time with my family, absolutely. But with that being said, the world of sports goes on. We got bowl games this week. We'll kind of go over, touch base with that. We have not only bowl game, we have NFL, right? As COVID, we have NBA, we have NHL, we have sports going on that still go on throughout the next 2 weeks, and the world doesn't stop. So as the world continues, we will continue. Now, I mean, our schedule. If you think about our schedule, the J&J Talk Show for the remainder of the year, we're doing the show today. We got our show on for Thursday. We will come back and do our December 26th show, which is this Sunday, the day after Christmas, Thanksgiving, where we will go over. I think it's going to be kind of like a New Year's party. I listen around. A lot of people talk about this, about Christmas parties and whatnot, and then that's great. December 26th is going to be our New Year's party. Okay, where the kind of like the entire crew is going to be able to get together for one last time on the show before we head into the next year. Then we'll have Tuesday and Thursday again of next week, which is going to be back to our regular format. And then basically we'll go into New Year's. There's a lot of things going on New Year's Day. And then we jump into the Jay and Trey podcast on the TNC brand come January 2nd. Wow. So you think about that. That's 5 total shows left for you guys. And 5 total shows left for the Jay and Trey talk show. And I want to kind of touch base with that, give you guys a little bit of story behind the J and J talk show. We got 2 hours. There's a lot of things going on. We will cover. We're going to try to cover everything, but it's kind of more of a relaxing day. Like I said, I'm kicking off the show by myself. And I want to cover some highlights of what's going on in the world of sports. NHL pauses season through Christmas Day over COVID-19 issues. We got the Oakland managers naming their head general manager, the manager of the Oakland A's. We will disclose that if you guys haven't already ready. Was the Jake Paul and Tyrone Woodley's fight rigged? There's a whole bunch of conspiracy over that. I got some big news coming up here later on in our program about NWF wrestling that Trey broke to me last night, so we'll talk about that. Monday Night Raw, wasn't that bad of an episode? They got some matches scheduled for next week. As we head into Friday Night SmackDown. I guess here's the interesting thing. Is SmackDown taped? Is SmackDown going to be taped for the holidays, or is that still live? And I'm always nervous about holidays because things like SmackDown, they kind of, wrestling performance kind of dies down a little bit, and they still put out the content, but it's not as great of a content as you normally see. Interesting, AEW Dynamite is going, or AEW Rampage is going to have a show on Christmas Day. I'm only presuming that show's not live. And then so instead of Friday, they will have a Saturday Christmas Day show. We got some NFL going on today. The Rams and Seahawks, Cowboys, Washington. Well, not Cowboys, Eagles, Washington. Sorry. Philadelphia Eagles and Washington. Washington football team. Yeah. Hey, so listen, it's going to be a grind. I tell you that for sure. But sit tight with me, and I'll get you through the 2 hours here, right here on the J&J Talk Show. Welcome back, everyone, on the J&J Talk Show. Also want to give a quick shout out to Kentucky Woodworks, okay? Listen, Trey gave me a nice Christmas present earlier this month from Kentucky Woodworks in honorary of the Jay and Trey podcast coming to you 2022. I like it. Little carvings. Still smells like cut wood. Love it. And basically, he hand makes every item that you order, which is phenomenal. If you head on over to Kentucky Woodworks on Facebook, it's not too late. Save $5 when you order 10 ornaments or more by using promo code J&J Talk Show. And I know he does more than just ornaments. He does other carvings as well, but that's interesting. I like what he does, and we'll hopefully have another promotion coming up to you at the beginning of the year. Kentucky Woodworks on Facebook. All right, we got 2 hours for you guys this morning. Kind of waking up here still. Some interesting highlights coming out of your way here on over the weekend. The PNC Championship, and I know we don't normally talk about golf, but Tiger Woods and Charlie Woods. This was the big highlight. I think if you were a fan of Tiger Woods, what about earlier this year, almost a fatal car accident took place, injuring Tiger Woods, and this is his first appearance in back in any PGA. I know that there was rumors about him swinging the ball, swinging the swinging it again, and he went back at it, did it with his son. The highlight, was supposed to be around Tiger coming back and just making an appearance. But I think there was more. What was more impressive was his son Charlie having a better performance. Like he seemed so natural. It looked great, the fist bumps, the hugs, father son duo, and this was a father and son tournament. And although Charlie, the Woods family didn't win. It was the Dailies, John Daly, over with the old cigars and pipes and smoke and all that stuff. This was just something fun to watch about. If you follow Tiger Woods throughout your life, you got a chance to see him and whatnot. He's really given a lot of. Oh, he's had a lot of ups and downs. Okay, let's be honest. And when he went, when he had that car accident, we were kind of, I know, almost nervous, skeptic about, hey, what does this mean for uh for him? And it's great to see him out there again. Now, I mean, it looked like he wasn't really, walking the entire place. I guess the question is, I know golf PGA has gotten rid of the whole golf cart things, rides from from numbers, but it would be interesting to see if that's something that they would be putting back in place, especially if Tiger is to make a return back to the PGA. I think that's his ultimate goal, whether it's 4 months, 5 months from now, or a year from now. Mobility wise, he looked okay. Like I said, he doesn't look anywhere near ready to be back out there with everyone else, but he looked pretty good for the most part. So if you guys didn't check that out, Woods had a pretty good outing with his son over the weekend. And I tell you, talking about some other news, there has been some controversy, and I don't know. There's been a lot of talk on social media about this fight, fight that happened over this weekend. Um, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't necessarily watch a lot of celebrity matches because I feel like there's not a lot of. I don't watch celebrity fights. Okay, you had Frank Gore boxing yesterday, and he got his ass handed to him. Jake Paul and Tyron Woodley had a match over the weekend. And first of all, I'm not a fan of Jake Paul. And it's nothing because I don't like him. I don't know. I mean, listen, it's kind of like I don't like him for the right reasons. For being the arrogant SOB that has gotten, made himself from YouTube famous to getting in the ring famous. And he moves to 5-0 after punching out Tyron Woodley back over the weekend. This was a nice, clean punch out. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think. This was a pretty big. He was knocked out completely, out cold, like they always say. But It's interesting because here's where the controversy hits. Because there, as immediately after the fight happened, social media took to a warfare of did was this rigged? Because one, do you see Taiwan Woodley losing to a Jake Paul for one? Two, do you see there was indications throughout the fight? Oh, you land me one, you land me one, fingers pointed, this and that. And I really don't know what to think. I wouldn't be surprised because it has happened before if we or if you this this boxing fight was rigged at any point. But the slightest indication that took place was when Jake turned his glove over and kind of did here, come here type thing. He gave some sort of, a few signals that I think if you paid attention close, and I don't know if that meant anything. I think that's only due to the speculation of eyes and what people think. I wouldn't be surprised if it was rigged to help maybe make Jake Paul look good. Okay, how much money will will he take? But to how much money will Taiwan really make to take a knockout? But that punch, that knockout to Taiwan Ridley was as real as it could be because even if this was rigged, you have so many things going on. He was actually knocked out. Okay, you're not faking that. And then after the fight, you have the Fury family talking on talking trash, talking some smack talk about Jake Paul. So I don't know. I mean, I'm not. I think the news on this story here was it rigged or not? And I know that there's a lot of ups and downs and people thinking about, oh well, this is what this is. It wasn't rigged, or yeah, this is a celebrity fight. Yeah, it's rigged. I really don't know. I really don't care because I really don't watch it all the time. I don't watch celebrity fights. I don't care for them. It doesn't do me any good. I'm not betting on these games. Um, it's kind of one of those things that okay, if you want to put um, Taiwan Ridley against you know, Tyson Fury, then maybe I would put some betting games into it. But I'm not buying into, it is what it is. And it made money. People watched it. People tuned in. What's next for Jake Paul? He's 5-0. I don't know. I have no idea. Uh, is he going to fight a Fury? All right, Tyson Fury maybe. I don't know where Jake Paul lands. I'm going to tell you this. I have nothing but respect for Jake Paul. I'm just not a fan of his. All right. That's simple enough said. And it's just the way he's presented himself. But yet again, you can't deny how well he's presented himself because it's done the job. It's done some work. So shoot. So those are the two quick stories I wanted to kind of get out of the way. We got wrestling going on. I want to talk a little bit about Monday Night Raw that happened last night. If you guys didn't get a chance to, hey, spoiler alert. All right, some things that maybe took place, some storylines. AEW Rampage is going to be happening on Christmas Day. That's going to be pretty interesting as well to talk about a little bit. I'm gonna maybe scratch the surface of this. I know when it comes down to AEW and especially Rampage, Jake is all over it, but he's not feeling well right now. When we come back, and I want to take this shorter break. When we come back, I want to talk to you guys about the future of the show. Kind of give you guys some updates of how this show is going to be progressing. We've been Trey, Jake, Trey, and I have been in a lot of conversations about what's going on in the show and how we're going to move forward. And I kind of want to take this time as it's more of a slower day to kind of reach out and talk to you guys about that. So that's coming up next right here on the J&J Talk Show. Welcome back here on the J&J Talk Show. All righty. Kind of taking it more easy today here as things go on as we advance 2 hours. Kind of more of a lighter day than not. Thursday, we'll come back at you with another week 16 of the NFL. 3 more weeks left. What does that playoff picture look like? We'll talk about some NFL later on. Also in our program, I want to take this time to talk about some of the shows, some of the upcoming things that are happening on this show, just for you guys to be aware of. All right. So I know this ain't good. It's just not the fun stuff. This is not news breaking. Oh my goodness. Hey, this is just simply let's get you guys updated and get you guys on board with what we've been doing. Because Trey, Jake, and we're all in this together. And I know my voice right now probably sounds like I'd be putting you guys to sleep, but bear with me. We got 5 more episodes of the J&J Talk Show. When the J&J Talk Show was created, me and a friend of mine, Justin, still good friends, we created the show. All right. It was back in August. I was probably at a point where I was like, yeah, listen, everyone's downstairs doing a podcast. Doesn't take much anymore. It's very cheap. All we gotta do is get a camera, got a laptop, hey, even buy a phone, and create a YouTube page and start creating podcasts. That's what we did. And if you go back and watch our first episodes, Justin was very much involved. The problem is, and he was a very great support. The problem is that he also has a family. He also has other commitments and other priorities and other things that he has to do as well. And no one is blaming him whatsoever. Absolutely not. No, I'm not going to do it because there's no reason to. Right. All right. We talked about this and throughout peak season of where we worked at. Okay. It was understanding that, hey, he may not be able after 10, 12-hour working to come and do an hour or two of a show. From there, Trey found out what we're doing and immediately jumped on, say, hey, whatever I could do to help. And since then, Trey and I has been up on selling. So Justin has taken the back seat to the J&J Talk Show. And over the last month and a half, moving forward, we talked to everyone, and it's probably in best interest to try to move on with him remaining in the backseat. Not saying that you're not going to see him again. Absolutely. No, he's still going to be here. He's going to be part of the show, but he's not going to be on the show each and every day. Therefore, we're changing our J&J Talk Show to the Jay and Trey podcast. All right. Trey and we're going to be doing a podcast together 5 days a week, 2-hour episodes, occasionally 3. And we've also gotten Jake involved. Now, you've seen Jake quite some time on this show. He's really now become a team member of our show. How quickly he has become a team member, coming on our shows more often, filling in when Trey can't do him. He's also starting to learn, or will be starting to learn, the ropes of how to run on my end of the things through the StreamYard, getting everything set up for a 2-hour show, cutting to the breaks. And so in that case, if I can't be on the show, we, instead of having to cancel the show, we can still continue the show. So, and it will be Jake and Trey, right? So here's how the schedule is going to look like starting January 2nd, because we will come to you January 2nd, and we'll mention that here in a moment. Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays will be from 10 a.m. to noon. 2 hours, 10 a.m. to noon. It will be mainly Jake and I covering those days. Occasionally, we will have Trey, and occasionally it will just be myself. On Saturday and Sunday nights, we're going to do from 10 p.m. to midnight. Between everyone's work schedule and everyone's, objectives and, busy lives, that's the schedule that is the Jay and Trey podcast. With that being said, the Jay and Trey podcast is now also having a brand, TNC. Very simple brand. So you guys will be seeing the TNC brand. You guys will be viewing the Jay and Trey podcast. Still be available on YouTube. We're not changing. We're not creating a new YouTube account. We're just changing the name of the YouTube account, making it more of a brand, and basically following up the episodes. From there, we will still have Spotify where you can listen to us. I'm hoping, if I can, and work on getting you guys and anyone who has podcasting or YouTubing video experience, whatever the case may be, please weigh in. Come on in here. Let me know. Chat me up. Please give me the best advice. What is the best, system I could stream everything out to that is inexpensive? Because it feels like if you want to put your content, out on YouTube, that's easy, free, and simple. If you want to do a studio that I like, this is what I like doing, this studio here. It's very inexpensive. I mean, it's no more than like $12-15 a month. But when we go out to Spotify. I already have a Spotify account, so I get people on Spotify. But if I want to do iTunes or best way to go, how do I go about doing that? If you guys have any knowledge, let me know. Please work with me so we can make our show better for everyone to listen to. Our social media accounts are going to stay the same. We're going to just transfer from the J&J Talk Show to TN Trey, TUN as for the Jay and Trey podcast for Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. We're all big on TikTok. Now, I mean, I'm not that big on Twitter. I'm not that big. I don't really use Instagram like that. I don't really know the functions of it and how you even get a reaction. I do Facebook. So when we all work together on this show, we kind of divide our work up evenly. But so nothing's going to change. We're going to have the same accounts. We're going to just change the name of the show and be more 5 days a week prone to you guys. Hope you guys like. We want to bring in some guests. So if you guys are interested in, getting guests, we want to eventually open up hotlines for you guys to call in and let us know, talk to us, what's going on in the world of sports, especially as we talk about wrestling. We're going to have 2 hours. That's 10 hours a week. We're going to have to figure this out. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. I hope you guys are. Please leave a comment down below what you guys think about the upcoming schedule. Okay. And we're hoping to do more. Now, I will tell you this. We will not do a show on, on pay-per-view days, on big pay-per-view days. Let me put it that way. So, like the Royal Rumble, WrestleMania. We're not going to do a show on the Super Bowl, from my understanding, because those are big events. But we hopefully will be keeping you guys informed. And I say hopefully because I say I will, but then I never get back around to it. But we want to keep you guys informed. Talking about the upcoming show. So it begins on the 26th, on the 2nd. We will have ourselves a special 3-hour episode. Okay? Because Trey has pulled some strings, talked to a really good person, and we will have a special 3-hour episode. So we're supposed to be having from 10 to midnight, but instead, it's going to be from 9 to midnight. because we're going to have the one and only, the very best NWF star, the great. And when I say great, I mean he's great. The great King Titan joining us as in a guest interview to kick off the New Year's. What about them apples? Huh? We're going to have a huge, monster, monumental guest on our show to kick off the New Year's. And we have nothing, we got to, if you don't know who the great King Titan is, he is a NWF star. Okay. He wrestles for Northern Wrestling Federation, and he just got done it happens. So we will get a chance to speak with him on that first episode. And Trey, I can't do nothing more but to thank, I know we work extremely hard on trying to get guests on, and he surely had our guests. And when he broke that news to me last night, I was like, wow, we're gonna have to get questions set up, let's get things going. So Trey, congratulations. Thank you for the work that you have put in for that. So this is really some big news. So you're not going to want to miss a special 3-hour episode of the Jay and Trey podcast coming to you January 2nd. Don't forget, day one is also coming to you on January 1st. So we're going to have to talk about that. We're going to talk about week 17 because that will collapse and that will end, followed by coming up week 18, the following week of that. We got Cavalcade coming up January 9th in Cincinnati at the Duke Energy Center. All right. Tickets available at O'Reilly's Auto Parts. All right. Get your tickets at O'Reilly's Auto Parts. It's like $20. Get to meet Brian Danielson at Cavalcade Customs at the Duke Energy Center in Cincinnati, Ohio. I know Trey and I, at least, will be there getting a chance to meet him and get an autograph or whatnot. We also have Monday Night Raw coming back to Northern Cincinnati coming up at the beginning of the year also, the 29th or the 30th of January, the day after the Royal Rumble. Oh, my goodness. We're headed out there. NWF. Let's talk about while we're talking about NWF and the Great King Titan. They also have Collision Course or Collision Course. Yeah. NWF Prisons Collision Course, Saturday, January 1st. It's slamming to the new year. It's at the Bone Crusher facility. All right. Their training facility, Bone Crushers. So head out there. Tickets are available. Starts at 2. Doors open up at 2 p.m. All right, so more of an evening show, not a nighttime show, more of a afternoon show. All right, doors open up at 2 p.m. Tickets are available on nwfwrestling.com. Now, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to make it to that one, but we are going to go to the next one at the Hits in Covington, Kentucky, where they're going to have another one on January the 15th. So if you guys want to come out, talk to us, say hi as well. Support on NWF merchandise, and just enjoy yourself a good show. You get to see guys like Tyan, Sean Evans, you get to see Star Rider. Just go those type of guys coming out as well. I know that NWF is making the way up on January 8th to Mount Orab. All right, up there in Cincinnati as well, Mount Orab. But it's a little longer drive. I think Roger Ruffin, all right, the owner of the NWF, is Roger Ruffin will be in a 6-man tag match as well. So if you're local Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky residents, you want to find something to do at the beginning of the year, NWF has a very impactful schedule in the month of January. But anyways, we got 5 shows left here. Just that's kind of breakdown. If you guys have questions about how the show's coming your way here, how the show is going to be produced, please let me know down in the comments, and that way we can kind of give you guys an idea what this show looks like. Oh, that's loud. But we got to step aside, take another break, quick break. We'll come back. When we come back, I kind of want to talk about the manager. Oh, I got this one. The Oakland Athletics moved got rid of Bob Melvin. Okay, he came down to San Diego. The Athletics are kind of on an unloading spree. And they just hired a new manager, kind of with promotion. I really like him. I'll tell you who that is next, right here on the J&J Talk Show.
One step forward, two steps backwards, yeah. Immature lover who don't use big words, yeah. I don't need convincing at all because I know what I want. Baby, can't you figure it out? What's going on in your...
Alrighty, hey, NBA, MLB. I mean, the lockdown is in place. All right, this is that quick segment of the show, and I apologize, but the MLB is still under lockdown. Not many, basically, the organizations and the players cannot come speak to each other until they could come to an agreement and pass a new CBA. So this is what the lockdown presents. Well, that doesn't mean while this is going on, players or coaches can't talk among each other or even try to hire from within. And and this is a very true. So we want to kind of give congratulations because this has been me as a San Diego Padres fan. I followed the Padres, and earlier this off season the Padres have acquired Bob Melvin as the new head coach, manager of the Padres after releasing Jace Tingler throughout the middle of September, right? When things just weren't working out. And since then, since this lockdown, the Padres have been kind of establishing themselves coaching staff that kind of helped get this team to that next level. And I'm not saying that they're doing a bad job and why I should take some more time breaking down to it, but it's kind of hard when everyone is on lockdown, there's no free agent signings, there's really no guarantee of what the season holds. But the other interesting thing coming out of uh the lockdown or and just off season is that the Oakland A's have been unloading a lot of their players, and we saw this. We've already saw this, with Bob Melvin going to the Padres. He was still under contract, but apparently Oakland A's went to Melvin and said, "Hey, listen, this is the game plan. This is what we have to do in order to get things done. Do you want to? If you want to look for a new team, this is, we won't blame you, but we want to keep you involved." And from there, it's kind of been like, okay, well, this is how it is. Well, I've been listening to San Diego radio, and they're following along with some of the stories, and this is an interesting one. Mark Kotze, who is a former Padres player, been able to coach, and he was actually, I believe, the first base coach or third base coach or bench coach when he was on the Oakland A staff back in last season. He's just been announced as the new Oakland A's manager, and I'm very excited for him. Great opportunity, and you know it's interesting coming to think of it because I grew up on a lot of these players. I grew up watching when Mark Kotze was with the San Diego Padres, when he was with guys like Phil Nevin, Sean Burrows, right? Brian Giles, Mike Cameron, you know, that's kind of Khalil Green type of player. Brian Lawrence, Mike Adams, Trevor Hoffman. Those are just a handful of guys from when I was growing up. I remember watching and playing and listening to. And Mark Kotze got an opportunity, and he's now getting an opportunity to manage. And I think a lot of people knew he was. It was just a matter of when and where. And Oakland seems as a really good fit for Mark Kotze. So congratulations to Mark Kotze in getting that new manager's role for the Oakland A's and the direction that they're hopefully headed into here is going to be hopefully still relevant. I mean, they've been a successful team for like the last decade, in and out in playoff runs, and I don't think it's going to stop. It's all about that little Billy Bean, right? Conversation here. So I'm not at all worried about Mark Arts. I think he's going to do a very good job here. So listen, 2 hours of this show. Hour number one here. I know you could kind of tell I'm kind of winging it a little bit. Oh my goodness. I'm trying to just push through it. It's holiday season. I got an absolute mess here in my workspace area because I have my new desk that I have to put together. I have another chair I got to put together. I got to rearrange things around to make a studio format. I got some stuff coming up, getting put up for entertainment purposes. So there's a lot of things that I'm working on, in progress of working on. And it started all last night. So it looks like a chaotic mess right now. I mean, I can't get to my dining table. The living room's kind of all a mess. The Christmas tree's up still. I'm going to have to I don't know when I'm going to take that down, but I feel like the arrangement that I'm going to make, it feels like I'm about to take that down sooner than later. So I got a lot of things going on in this little area, but instead of seeing that same old crappy back white wall behind me, I'm kind of like my studio right now. I'm locked up in here in this corner of the place. And I really It's kind of almost a drag just to sit back here. I'm sitting on a $15 plastic chair from Walmart. I have this, foldable table that I'm using from Walmart. So I'm excited to get the new studio set up and progress. And like I said, I'm hoping to get this studio set up and get them ready by the 26th. Very good deals, and I can't wait to show you guys. And hopefully I get a chance to show you guys here very soon. All right, listen. NFL has really gotten themselves, COVID-19 has really started impacting teams and players. You've seen it in the NFL, with, well, you see it all around sports. NBA, basketball. Some games have had to been pushed for NFL for today and yesterday. I know the Browns and the Raiders had to postpone their Sunday game to play yesterday. There's two games on board for today here, and we'll go over those two games coming up to you next. We got to take another break here. I know it's so short, but when we come back, we'll cover some NFL here, right here on the J&J Talk Show. Alrighty, COVID-19 has really impacted a lot of things, especially around this sport. I don't know, maybe if we are not attacking COVID-19 or taking the precautionary, um, or the necessary precautions, right, to so to speak, of COVID-19. But obviously, we've seen big hit impact over this past month. Uh, Things such as the NHL has also postponed any games, or basically, NHL. I see it somewhere. The NHL has paused their season through Christmas Day over COVID-19 concerns. I know earlier this week or over the weekend, they ended up only having no international games. So any U.S. teams can't go to Canada and vice versa. Which then they just moved up to, okay, well, we're gonna postpone this until after Christmas. Um, NFL has been impacted hard on this. You see the 3 games had to be postponed this week for, this weekend. Listen, I guess for me it's more about, hey, more football days, right? You had Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday now, 2 more games added on. But I don't know. I kind of feel that there's just been a few. I don't know if we've been approaching or attacking this as well or as needed. Um, so under the NFL, let's take a look at yesterday's games. Because yesterday the Raiders beat the Browns 16-14, and then the Vikings beat the Bears 17-9, moving the Raiders and the Vikings to 7-7. And it was down to a field goal when it came down to the Raiders and Browns. I saw the highlights of that game, and it was pretty devastating. You got to remember there was no Casey Keenum, there was no Baker Mayfield. As a matter of fact, they played with Nick Mullins. But with that being said, we have more games coming up. There's 22 players from the Browns. 10 of them are starters. That was out yesterday. Well, it's no different today because at 7 p.m., both games at 7 p.m., the Seahawks and the Rams set to do battle. Remember, the Rams had 25 people out. NFL, the Washington football team, and the Philadelphia Eagles are going to take place by 7 p.m. They have until 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to announce their roster and make any changes that they need to make. But like NBA has already went back to last season's policy where, hey, if you don't have enough players, you could start recruiting people and it won't affect you in anything. So, I mean, we're seeing a big hit of COVID, spikes as we get into the deep depths of winter through coming into the new year. It's gonna kind of suck. I'm kind of a little disappointed. I don't know. I mean, is everyone taking the right protocol? Are players not? Do we need to start taking fans away from these games? I'm always afraid. Okay, we saw NHL shut down for a week. Will we see NBA go back to no fans after they've been in fans? Exactly what is that protocol? Are they going to have half fans or half arenas filled? What is NFL going to look like as postseason progresses? I know everyone's going to try to push really hard through this, right? Listen, you don't want to lose money, and they've already lost enough money as is, having to shut down, having to alter seasons and everything like that. Losing any more money from the fan base makes this a lot difficult. But at the same time, it's like if you're going to have more spike cases, there's already certain states that are mandating masks in certain areas. I mean, states are going to be able or allowed to make certain regulations or certain standards to everything. So it sucks because you still have a good half a season of NHL, good half a season of NBA. You also have a good solid season of you only have 3 more weeks of the NFL before you head into the postseason. But this is, and then talking about what about Christmas time? So there's a lot of things going on with that COVID variant coming out, then the spike in COVID. I'm excited for these two upcoming games, 2 very well impactful playoff opportunities for these 2 games here. I mean, just think of this: the Vikings are now currently holding that 7th spot in the wild card or in the playoff standings over in the NFC. The Rams sitting at 9-4, but let's not count out the Seahawks quite yet, because the Seahawks are 5-8 and they still have an opportunity. I mean, I know their opportunity is slim, but they still have an opportunity to crawl right back into things again. You take a look at the Washington football team and Philadelphia Eagles, both sitting at 6-7. Implications rise as they move forward, trying to um, make their way to the postseason. We want to go ahead and also take this time and congratulate the Green Bay Packers for being the first team to clinch their division. They're sitting at 11-3. So right now, and with a couple losses from the Arizona Cardinals, the Cowboys now are in number 2. The Buccaneers in number 3. The Cardinals in number 4 in the NFC. Not impressed by the Packers. The thing is, I guess here's the dangerous part. The Packers have been doing this for so long now. You don't want to be stuck. Okay, I don't care. Even Green Bay, and I don't think Green Bay really cares, but you don't want to be Arizona. You don't want to be LA. You don't want to be San Francisco. And you definitely don't want to be Dallas or Tampa Bay, teams that don't play in cold weather. All right, let's figure that out. Look at that. Packers and Minnesota are the only two North teams that play in actually cold weather throughout the season. They played in snow throughout the season. So if you're the Cowboys, the Buccaneers, the Cardinals, the Rams, the 49ers, which, by the way, 3 of those 5 teams I just mentioned are on the West Coast, not north enough. They're down south enough to be more warmth, right? No one's going to want to go into Lambeau Field and have to play in that exhausting weather condition. Think about Chiefs. I mean, Chiefs could get pretty cold too, I guess. New England gets pretty cold, but Tennessee could get pretty cold. As well. Cincinnati definitely gets pretty cold. Hey, listen, congratulations to the Cincinnati Bengals. Congratulations to Trey. Your Bengals are currently in first place thanks to a Ravens loss from the hands of the Packers last week. But I mean, when you're really breaking down right now the potential, like, okay, so we know that the Packers are going to be in the postseason. Will they have that first round bye? Right now, the favors are the Packers, but they still have 3 weeks left to play, which means if they lose a few more games, if they do lose some games, either the Cowboys, the Cardinals, or the Buccaneers have an opportunity of gaining that first round bye. I mean, overall. So that's definitely one of the most intriguing parts. But if the Packers get the first round bye and they get to play in Lambeau, or the home field advantage in Lambeau, one team's going to have to come in there and beat them. And that's going to be the challenging part. What team is possible to beat them? And if they have the first round bye, and it looks like they will, who's going to be able to? I guess I could almost certainly tell you that they're Super Bowl favorites, at least to go to the Super Bowl. And if you kind of think of right now, if you take a look at the AFC, the only team that possibly has a chance on giving the Packers a chance of losing at the Super Bowl, or let me put it this way, the only team on the AFC that has any chance of even showing a threat to a NFC team this year at the Super Bowl, let's be honest, Kansas City Chiefs, maybe the Patriots, but that's going to be fun to watch. 3 weeks left, and it's interesting. This is the fun part about the NFL, because you got 3 weeks left, and there's still the opportunity is still open to each and every one of them. But coming up tonight, the Washington football team takes on the Philadelphia Eagles. Not really eyes on that one here, because the only thing because now you also have the Los Angeles Rams and the Seattle Seahawks to do battle tonight, both playing at the same time, by the way. Which then let me tell you this. Which game are you guys going to watch? If you guys get both accessible, from my understanding, according to CBS, they're both going to be on Fox. So one region is going to get the Washington and Philadelphia game. The other region is going to get the Rams and the Seahawks game. So I don't know if we're going to be able to see both of those teams play. But my question is to you, what game would you be watching? In my case, it would be the Rams and Seahawks because the Rams still need to stay on top of the ball and what they do, right? They still need to be able to and they had the most impactful part of this COVID-19 list with 25 men out. Now, we mentioned this here. You have up until 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to name your roster. Now, if you've been tested, if you've been vaccinated, if you're an NFL player that's been vaccinated and you have been, if you were able to provide at least one negative test prior to that 2 p.m., you are eligible to play in that game. At the same time, the Seattle Seahawks, okay, and by the way, the Seahawks are on the road. This will be in LA. The Seahawks are trying to fight and keep themselves healthy and a chance at a postseason with their record. Great implications on the show. My issue is they're both happening at the same time. I would love to see one maybe at least on a West Coast time, maybe like a 4 or 5, and then having one at 8 again. But they're going to have them at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hey, let's get bang for your buck for your football, though. You think about that. I would love to watch people watch both games. Hey, more football for us, right? More football for us. Man. All right. Hey, listen. We got 45 minutes left on this show. Let's do this in this show right with the bang. We got some bowl games coming up here left. It continues on starting today. Don't want to miss that out. You got Kent State taking on Wyoming. And then UTSA taking on my San Diego State Aztecs. Let's break down some NCAA football games coming up to you as well. We also want to talk a little bit about WWE, Monday Night Raw, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn signing. Also, AEW Rampage coming up to you on Christmas Day. You don't want to miss that out. Let's take a quick break and come back right here on the J&J Talk Show.
take my soul. Nah, 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 no. Oh, I can't let him take my soul. Nah, 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 no. See, we was cool right before he hit the fence, but he hit the fan when I got him down at the bench. I took a break, I had to leave.
Let's not forget about Kentucky Woodworks. Head on over to Kentucky Woodworks on the Facebook, where he carves each and every personal item that you want him to carve. Sends it right to you. Save $5 by buying 10 ornaments or more on the J&J Talk Show.
Right now my wrongs ran through a check, cause it's hard to live off bread alone. So if you see me slipping, yeah, let me know, cause it ain't the end of times yet. I know, but it's getting close. Yeah, I need my space to breathe. That's why I be going ghost.
Head on over.
I ain't trying to stay up on that wide road, cause I can't let him take my soul.
We got 3 bowl games here today, starting at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it's the kickoff on the bowl games here. So I want to kind of quickly just kind of touch base, get you a little bit of what's going on over here. We have the Idaho Potato Bowl, 3:30 p.m. Kent State taking on Wyoming. Later on tonight, 7:30 p.m. as well, which I feel like this is going to ruin it, being 2 NFL games. UTSA taking on number 4 San Diego State in the Frisco Bowl. And that'll be tonight. Also, while we're talking about it, tomorrow we have Missouri taking on Army in the Armed Forces Bowl, 8 p.m. Don't want to miss that one. I'll be tuning into that one. And I'll cover Thursdays on our NFL Thursdays a week. Got 2 games there. Game on December 24th. So we're really falling in play for these games here. And I guess it's going to be we're going to be following along here on the show. Do you guys have a favorite team? Let me know down in the comments below. A-Rod's Hall of Fame case is so complicated. We're going to have some fun stuff going on for MLB. Oakland A's hired Mark Kotsay as new manager. MLB antitrust lawsuit over minor league overhaul. Kind of things. Mets hire veteran manager Showalter as next skipper. Buck Showalter. That's just going around the MLB news. Bengals in first in the North, playoff pitcher. Week 15 cuts down tonight. Vegas tops Browns. Kelsey, Ward, and Butker placed on COVID-19 list. Chiefs. So some fun, interesting things going around in the league here in the world of sports. Talking about world of sports, we want to jump right down into the world of wrestling. It is holiday season, holiday wrestling going on. Talked about NWF, January 2nd, 2021. We have a 3-hour episode from 9 to midnight, kicking off the Jay and Trey podcast. We're going to have the great NWF star, the great King Titan, joining us as a guest interview. Don't want to miss that out. Also, January 1st, doors open up at 2 p.m. Tickets are available for Collision Course. NWF presents Collision Course at Bone Crushers in Cincinnati, Ohio. Don't want to miss that out. We have no Ring of Honor, Impact Wrestling coming the holiday season. Monday Night Raw wasn't too bad. We'll get into that here in a bit. AEW Rampage. You got a Dynamite tomorrow night. Rampage on Christmas Day. Wow. Congratulations to Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens for re-signing with the WWE. It looks like they're signing multi-year contracts. I feel like this is a huge win for Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Here's why. And this is a huge win for WWE. I think so. Kevin Owens came out earlier last week, at the end of last week, after reports been officially made that he re-signed with the WWE to multi-years. He said that this was best for his family. And I get it. I mean, I question, any new person coming in. I do question the stability and the commitment that the WWE has. But when you have a guy like Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, if the money's right and you could get them, keep them. I mean, the WWE has gotten rid of so many athletes over the year, over this pandemic tragedy here, that when you guys can't keep a guy like Braun Strowman, Bray Wyatt, Andrade, Rusev, Malachi Black, Bryan Danielson, and some of the reasons ain't because of contract-wise. All right, if the money was there for Bryan Danielson, I don't think that that Bryan Danielson will leave. He left because his time is limited in wrestling. And he wants to have these amazing matches that just WWE lacks of providing. Nothing personally against them, but the WWE has been forced to take certain business moves, make business moves that doesn't benefit the wrestlers. Karrion Kross. So now you have, but when you could finally be able to seal in a couple guys like Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Now my question is, I mean, Kevin Owens, look at Kevin Owens' storyline right now. He's in the Fatal 4-Way match at day one with Seth Rollins, Big E, and Bobby Lashley. So as long as you're keeping Kevin Owens up at the top and you keep him relevant, then you're not going to have an issue. My concern will be moving with Sami Zayn. How far up can you make him? Because I don't see him having the WWE, the Universal Championship. But does his storyline with Brock and Roman do anything more? Does he have any more involvement in that? Because, we're seeing things develop, and this is the beginning of the end of this fantastic storyline where, you have 3 stories being told. And you haven't, I was listening to this over the weekend, and it makes perfect sense to me. You haven't seen them recapture a storyline like they did back on Friday when Roman Reigns hugs Paul Heyman and says, "Thank you for your 20 years of service." Yeah, the Samoan family has been big and has worked with Paul Heyman for decades. And then to fire him on the spot. And I loved the fact that you saw that storyline come to a complete circle and you relate to, back to its original day. Something that WWE has not done in a while, because even something like 6 months ago, if a storyline has started but then paused, they never come back around to it. And we're finally seeing that big circle. You have the story with Paul Heyman now, because is he a Roman's guy? Is he a Brock's guy? Brock Lesnar is obviously by himself still. I don't think he's with Paul Heyman. Roman Reigns is trying to collect control, and he's making the first decision. Is this the right decision or is this the wrong decision? Because according to Paul Heyman, he says that, hey, listen, we are now talking about we are now firing you. He's making an ultimate decision. Is this the change? Is this the beginning of the change of the bloodline in this factor? But I love how complete, you have 3 different storylines going on in this feud, but yet again, it's a complete circle when it comes down to storyline, which I love the most. I just want to kind of brain pick at you guys, and I want to get you guys' thoughts. How would you see this match play out on day one? Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, the Universal Championship match, day one. How will Paul Heyman be involved? Is he going to get involved? And I think the only way you could see it is him being involved. This is not the same Brock Lesnar that you saw 20 years ago when he entered in. This is not the same Paul Heyman that you saw when he had the big radio or big phone. This is not the same Roman Reigns that you saw back in NXT. These are three grown men telling one story. And it's an amazing feud. Let me paint you this picture on day one. Just imagine this. Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns goes into a fight. During the match, Paul Heyman comes out, stands halfway down by the ring with his head down in guilt and remorse over what he has done, kind of in sorrow. Okay. And throughout the match, out of nowhere, you will see a naughty little smirk coming from Paul Heyman's face. And that is when Brock Lesnar takes advantage and wins the title. So, yeah, on December 21st, we are 11 days away from this championship match from the day one pay-per-view. I'm calling it. Brock Lesnar will defeat Roman Reigns. At least so I hope. When was the last time you saw Paul Heyman as a heel, as a babyface? When was the last time you saw Brock Lesnar as a babyface? And it's worked out so well for them. So well. Let's take another break. Can't have enough breaks, right? Yeah. When we come back, I want to talk a little bit about Monday Night Raw, the Fatal 4-Way match that coming up on day one, turned into a tag team match. And who would have thought? And I mean, I guess my question is, is Bobby Lashley turning on MVP according to what he did, or his actions back on in this pursuit of making Bobby Lashley a babyface? Has the first shots been fired at MVP from Bobby Lashley in the encounters from last night? We'll explain that. Also, I want to talk about, as we end this show, as we come to an end on this Tuesday morning, I want to also talk more about the official turn of Omos and AJ Styles. Yeah. Omos laid AJ Styles out, last night. Stay tuned to the J&J Talk Show.
I'ma need safety. Tell her I can't snake me. Ray gun on safety. My girl so tasty. Tell her it's your world. She want the two-tone spaceship. Blow smoke screen daily, so the stress don't phase me. I'm going. I keep it factual. I'm on sabbatical. I'm out in Central America. I need a break from hysteria. Park like the one with the carousel. I get it lit in your area. I'm locked to the vision, it couldn't be clear. You couldn't pay me to care enough. I dare you to hate me supreme with the sound through the stereo. So turn it up loud when you hearing us. We live and it's good in your area. My mama proud, she tearing up and it's going down. Got your girl aroused by these massive stacks like 100 pounds. Running big laps till the sun is down like 100 miles. Tinted frames on me leaning down. Winning now. Been a while, you ain't like me then, but how you like me now? Real one, if I hold you down, I'ma keep it there till we in the ground. Jet black when I paint the town, only blue sheets when they pay me now. Treat it setback like a step back. Wave, I got the game in a vice grip. Way up when the virus clear. All the homies on the flight list. Verbally gifted, take the plot and I twist it. Got a big.
Welcome back here on the J&J Talk Show. Gosh. Hey, wherever you guys are at, please make sure you guys are watering your trees. You guys get real trees here. So easy for them to go up in flames.
I never stop for a break. I put it lock in the game. I put it stock in my name, but I get
Gosh.
fame. I took a bite of that life and it tastes so exquisite. It feel like you do when you look in my pendant. Hopeless romantic, my girl, chin up for the kid. I'm not on no cinch. Won't stop to the youngest he dreams. When I take him from rags to riches. I heard that you claim that you know me, but you ain't the homie. The is your friendship. I need the loyalty, back up the royalty.
All right. Taking it to the 2 o'clock, to the top of the hour here. Oh, gosh. All right. So we're back into it. Get distracted a little bit. But all right. So Monday Night Raw last night. I don't want to spoil anything. There's just a couple of nice highlights I want to come over and talk about. We have ourselves last night's Raw kicked off with Big E and Bobby Lashley and MVP in the ring, addressing the WWE universe about being basically the best and entering himself into the Fatal 4-Way, making it a Fatal 4-Way match for the WWE Championship. Big E comes out, tells Bobby Lashley that he talks all big about wanting to win a match one-on-one, but at the same time, you still haven't done it. Because last week, not only Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn tried to interfere, but then oh gosh, I'm having a brain fart. MVP hits Big E last week in the back of the leg with the cane. Well, Bobby Lashley kind of had a spark and an idea. Said, listen, just for the shits and giggles, MVP, why don't you have a match with Big E? And so Lashley leaves the ring. Big E and MVP is standing in the ring, ready to do battle. And then Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins attacks Bobby Lashley from behind. Big E comes in and is he's tired of the shenanigans, like Trey would always say, the shenanigans that Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens has, or gives. And so this leads up to a tag team match, and Big E and Bobby Lashley team up, and you're trying to promote Bobby Lashley as a babyface. I could only presume that that's the case. You're trying to promote Bobby Lashley as a babyface, and I don't know. My question is, because as we saw through locker room scenes throughout the night, that MVP approached Bobby Lashley about, hey, this was all a setup, right? You weren't going to actually leave me out there by myself. And Lashley didn't necessarily respond to giving him answers. So I know this is, I guess, at least my concern is Bobby Lashley. Does the babyface call for Bobby Lashley turn on MVP, and what does that mean for MVP in the future? Do we possibly see MVP back again for another match? Do we see him leave after he is not the manager, as he no longer is part of the Hurt Business? Or after he's part of the Almighty? So that is my biggest question. And I am almost thinking about it. I know it's been a long time. Let's get things back and going. So Monday Night Raw, there's two things going on. One, you were building up Biggie, or you're building up Bobby Lashley as a babyface. The possible separation of MVP. Will MVP turn on Bobby Lashley? We saw a tag match. You know what's interesting about this tag match? I really enjoyed this tag match because I really enjoyed watching. You never really see this much. I remember, I remember it's the remembering of what was great. Why did we watch wrestling? Why were we enjoyed by wrestling so much back in this day? And that's because when you had a feud between John Cena and Batista, before they go at it in the ring at the next pay-per-view, you would have them do these stipulation matches where they would either have to team up with each other or team up again, with smaller, with the undercard opponents in a main event. For example, in today's time, you would have Bobby Lashley and Damian Priest do battle, or you would have Big E and Damian Priest team up to face, a guy like Bobby Lashley. Now, but what you're seeing, because it's a fatal four-way, you're seeing Bobby Lashley and Big E team up, portraying as the baby faces, teaming up and facing Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens. And then that's fine by me. Damian Priest taking on Robert Roode last night was fine by me. You got a tag team. Edge versus The Miz is starting to get personal now, as this whole setup of last week where Maurice slaps The Miz in the face. Edge has Maurice on his Cutting Edge show. The Miz comes out from behind, tries to ambush Edge. It doesn't fall for it. But then with the help of Maurice, The Miz and Maurice stand tall, leaving Edge to say. I feel really, and I know a lot of people probably feel the same way. They really do. I feel this is where you, as a fan, now see Beth Phoenix get involved. That's exciting. To see a possible mixed gender tag team match. We talked about this, but now we're starting to see the storylines move away. We still have 3 months. I don't know if this is this a WrestleMania match that we're looking towards? I'm hoping so. But then I guess my only concern is 3 months. You have 3 whole months. You have the Royal Rumble. You have Elimination Chamber. I don't know if y'all have Fastlane. But you have all these things going on up until WrestleMania. That's still 3 months out. So We will see. Talking about tag teams, I want to also take this time to mention and talk about AJ and Omos. Last night on Monday Night Raw, AJ Styles and Omos teamed up to face Dominic and Rey Mysterio. They end up losing. And AJ, and we've seen this from day one. AJ is now getting frustrated at Omos because Omos is starting to think for himself. One of the most dangerous things that makes a big person dangerous is when that person can start thinking for himself. And Omos is starting to not tolerate what AJ Styles has been doing. AJ Styles has been manipulating Omos, using him as a bodyguard to stay in the spotlight. And on the Miz TV, before the Miz could expose, AJ cuts him off because AJ knows what he's doing. AJ doesn't want Omos to know what he's doing. And now that Omos knows and the frustration keeps on piling up, last night we saw the turn. Well, Omos, 8-foot drop, over an 8-foot drop. AJ Styles landed. And it's like, I guess my thing is this guy, man, there's nothing that knocks him down. You think about everything that is, like, I was watching punches given to him last night. AJ was throwing some punches. He wasn't affected by it. Now, I don't know if that's through inexperience or whatnot, or if he's just one big bad MF. But damn. AJ and Omos. And here's interesting because Omos stands over AJ and tells him, hey, listen, the next time I see you, we'll be inside the ring in a match. Day one pay-per-view. Right there. Because you don't need any more time. You want to see the match. So that's kind of a recap of Monday Night Raw. We got NXT tonight. Hey, so listen, and I don't know, is SmackDown going to be taped or is SmackDown going to be live? Is AEW is having a show on Sunday, on Christmas Day. They're moving Rampage from Christmas Eve to Christmas Day. Is that taped? Matter of fact, I mean, do you even like watching Rampage on Christmas Day, or do you still much rather see it on Christmas or Eve, on that Friday? I'm actually a big fan. I'm a big fan to watch AEW do something that's not normally done, and that is to have a show on actual Christmas Day. A lot of these things, they take the opportunity, and I understand it, they take the opportunity to tape these shows, but, then air them on a different day. To actually air Rampage on Christmas Day is going to be pretty nice, pretty entertaining. My only concern is coming into Rampage, coming into SmackDown, is that wrestling sometimes could get a little lazy. And I've seen this in the past, but because it's the holidays, they don't put anything that's really too exciting on that holiday prior or post show, because they're anticipating a lower rating. So instead of doing something big, and I sure hope, Christmas Eve is fantastic to do something big. I want to be able to talk about SmackDown on Christmas Day and what's going on. I want to be able to talk about AEW Rampage on Sunday night after the show. But WWE and certain other wrestling promotions have a tendency, because it's the holidays, because it falls on that day, they're going to take it more easy. And I just don't agree with why they should be taking it easy. I don't know. That's just it's just me. I don't agree with it. But it is what it is. But we'll get these shows. It's going to be interesting coming into this weekend, what they have in store. So don't forget, we have NWF coming up at the beginning of the year. Cavalcade Customs at the Duke Energy Center in Cincinnati, Ohio. Tickets are available at O'Reilly's Auto Parts. We have Monday Night Raw coming into Cincinnati January 29th. So we got day one pay-per-view, Royal Rumble coming up in January. Don't forget the TNC brand. Yeah, the TNC brand is changing, is becoming official come January 1st. We will have a special 3-hour show for you on January 2nd from 9 p.m. to midnight. Okay. If you forgot, let me rephrase it. So the Jay and Trey podcast is going to be under TNC, available live on YouTube and audio wise on Spotify. Okay. That will be Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday from 10 a.m. to noon. Then on Saturday and Sunday from 10 p.m. to midnight as well. Coming up January 2nd to kick off the New Year's and to kick off the new brand, we will have our very first interview with NWF star, the Great King Tyan. And boy, we would have been elaborating late last night, and what we want to ask and all the questions. And I tell you, that's going to be fun to watch. Tune in to that specific episode, especially. Listen, 5 more episodes of the Jay and Jay Talk Show. It's kind of a sad time. I know. I don't know. Maybe we'll bring it back. I don't know. But right now it's the Jay and Trey podcast that begins at the beginning of the year. Don't forget, this coming up Saturday, the Jay and Jay Talk Show will be reviewing and giving out our list of the top 10 athletes, the male and female wrestlers of the year, top 5 pay-per-views, top 5 matches for each of us. All right, so that's a lot of times. We have Jake and Courtney taking on musical trivia questions. We're going to give that a trial this coming up Saturday. We don't want to miss that. So also, don't forget this coming up Thursday, we got NFL Week 16. Hopefully Jake is back. Hopefully he's feeling better, getting, ready to come back to it again. Maybe early in the morning as well. Don't want to miss that one out, as well as we wind closer to the post season, the end of the season. 3 weeks left. We got 2 games tonight. Seattle Rams, Washington, and Philadelphia. I don't want to miss that one out as well. And also, check out Kentucky Woodwork. Save $5 off of 10 ornaments purchase or more by using promo code J&J Talk Show. Gosh, it's been long 2 hours. Trying to keep it going. Man, got 2 more minutes left. Here. Waking up. NCAA football games on today as well. San Diego State, my San Diego State, I'm going to be tuning into. Trying to finish this show just with a top-notch bang here. And that's pretty much it, man. 5 more episodes. Wow. 5 5 more episodes to the end of the year. Hopefully, I get all this stuff cleaned up by Saturday. I mean, this is just the beginning of the process of the new equipment that the new product is going to be bringing. I got hopefully some more stuff coming in January to kind of help the promotion out. But I'm excited to show that off to you guys as soon as you guys see it. Get some new equipment here. And that's pretty much it. Well, I think that covered it all. If you're not, leave me a like, share, comment down below. Hit that like, share, subscribe button. Check us out on social medias if you guys want to talk to us, reach out to us on TikTok, on Instagram, Twitter, or even Facebook. And with that being said, on behalf of Jake, Trey, the entire crew of the J&J Talk Show, we say so long for now. And have yourself a wonderful, wonderful Tuesday.